Hey, it's Andy from the Adobe Express product team here. Many updates to share with you this week and some very, very useful ones. It'll be a slightly longer video than usual, but bear with me. There's some real good stuff here. Firstly, from the homepage of Adobe Express, we're going to press this plus button. You'll see an option to import from other apps. This is really useful in helping you import from other apps, but the bit I want to point out is we've now improved support for allowing you to work across your other Adobe apps that you might be creating in. So now you've got the ability to use Adobe InDesign in the same way that you've been able to use Photoshop and Illustrator, bringing in those projects and allowing you to work with all the multiple layers, artboards, etc. Same is true of Lightroom as well. So you can bring in your Lightroom photos when you're editing a project. The way you do that is just by going into your stuff here and you'll see Lightroom across the top. Now, moving into the second one, we've now improved template remix. So if you want to share your presentations with others that you've created on Adobe Express, you want to share that with others for them to remix. Fantastic way to leverage on-brand presentation creation at scale. Works in exactly the same way as all other template remix. Make a template, lock it down based on your own preferences and allow others to remix it. Moving on to the third update, this one's a really useful one. This is the ability to recolor graphics to make them feel on brand. Sometimes you've got a graphic that doesn't quite fit with your brand style. So here in the brand section here, you know how we can toggle our apply brand and it'll shuffle through the colors, fonts, etc. Now we can do the same, but with recoloring. So in this little toggle, we can toggle on recolor graphics. And when we press apply brand, it's going to look for the elements that are suitable to be recolored in this image. So the swimming costume in this instance, you notice that the swimming costume color changes each time. A wonderful way to make your images feel on brand straight off the bat. And of course, brands can be leveraged in all the other usual ways of bringing in our logos, fonts, etc. So I find that particularly useful. Now, as we're in this, we maybe want to change this into an Instagram square post. And you'll notice that we're working in portrait orientation. So sometimes when you resize, you don't quite get the right result because you'll see a lot of white space in the edge because the design is too portrait in orientation. So now we've improved resize. When we press resize, we have an opportunity to toggle on expand. So this will use generative AI to generate the missing parts. So if we now change this to an Instagram square post and then go ahead and hit resize. So that is now going to allow us to start generating the sides of the image that are missing. So it will generate the results here. And now we can start taking something that was portrait in orientation to something that is suitable to be in an Instagram square post. So now this gives us much more flexibility when we're resizing across multiple different form factors. All right. Moving on to the fifth update. So we're going to use this quote post as an example here. So what we're going to be talking about here is bulk create. So sometimes maybe you want to create multiple different variations of a Facebook ad maybe, or maybe you want to create something like this where it's a quote post where the format stays exactly the same, but the text and the background changes a little bit each time. So what we're going to do is hit bulk create here. Now we have an opportunity to bring in a CSV file, of which I'm just going to locate from here. So let's bring that in. All right, so now it's a chance of us connecting the elements. So element one, so we press the background. So this is going to be the image, so that's all fine. We're going to make sure we press this and connect the element to what's been identified in our CSV upload. So there's a quote, and we want to change the author as well. So we're just going to go ahead and select that element and make sure it's selected as author. It's essentially reading the components of the Excel spreadsheet we've just uploaded so that we can define exactly what we want to change. We press next. And now we're going to add multiple assets. Now we've already got this in our brand, so we're just going to go into our brand. And if we scroll down to the bottom, we can see all of our assets. And now it's just a case of us moving, dragging and dropping the different layouts that we want behind each one. So there we go. We'll just add these in each time. And once we've added those in, we're going to press done. And you can see that we've now changed the background and now created multiple different variations of this post. A real easy way for allowing us to create at scale. You'll notice that the quote and the author has changed and the background is different for each one. A fantastic way to create at scale. Now, once we've created at scale, one thing that can be tricky is when we want to change things across multiple pages. So we've just added find and replace. So if we want to find at Clover Cat Cafe, And we want to change that handle because that's just changed. So Clover Cat Cafe, and replace it to @Clover Cafe. Let's just say we're going to change that. We can just go ahead and find and replace. A real easy way that we can swap things out at a moment's notice with find and replace. All right, then, the final update I want to share with you is the ability to animate all within a page of a project. So here we can press on animation, and now we have the opportunity to animate everything in one go. So let's choose the waterfall one. So now, obviously, changed it into a mixed media project. So here, there we go. We've now got all of the elements animated. As you know, you can choose individual elements and animate them one at a time, but now we can just animate everything on the page to have one nice consistent feel. A fantastic way of speeding up the animation process. That's it. That is your update for this week. Lots going on, and I'll have more to share with you next week. Hope you found this useful, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye-bye.